It is not a stereotype if it's true. And what I'm saying is that it's true about how they speak in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, the New England states, if you will. I turned to my long-suffering wife, Marie. Hi, honey.
Hi.
You know exactly what I'm talking about because we went up there to Maine and the bordering states. And you know what we found? They do have this stereotypical accent where they don't use the letter R at all.
I love it so much.
Oh, what?
The whole time we were up there, I was like, I'm going to take the car down to the car park. We're going to go to the harbor, bust a Yui. No, it's a bang a Yui. And get down to the car park. We're going to have lobster and chowder. It's going to be a wicked pisser. At the supper down at the harbor. Get in the car park and park the car. Okay, I got it. It's done. It's out of my system. It's over.
It's out of your system. It's not out of the show because we're going to keep slipping back into this nuanced, stereotypical. This thing's not stereotype. They simply speak that way up there.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like the Southern people have a drawl.
Yes, they do. Southern people going to have a drawl.
We're going to talk like this, y'all. But up in the Northeast, they have this way they speak, which is kind of endearing, and you really fall into that lilt.
I love it, and so I do it because it's out of love, I just love it.
Yeah. So anyway, here's what happened. We went to Maine. It was a lot of fun. We went to Maine, also New Hampshire, also Vermont, but we're calling this the Maine problem for reasons we'll get into in just a moment on this edition of Voca Vacay. That's Marie over there.
That's Frank.
Voca Vacay starts right now.
Prepare yourself for the bestest, amazingest, and overall super duperest travel program in the history of ever. Vacation like it's your job and live vicariously through yourself. It's time now for Voca Vacay.
And every single time that we do a show, what we do on this show? Every single time we kick off a program, we talk about our global sandbox of ever-expanding countries that listen to Voca Vacay. We always give a shout out to our newest and bestest buddies who live all across the lands who are listening to us now, including these new countries. Ecuador. Never been there.
Never been.
Romania.
We've been
there several times. And the Democratic Republic of the Congo, not to be confused with the Republic of the Congo. It's the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Lovely folks there. Apparently we're huge down there. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, we got to address this. We have a cat named Boris who's walking across our shots right now.
This is our new Kiki, Boo Boo.
Boo Boo. His name is Boris Beef Squatch. But anyway.
Boris Beef Squatch, Boo Boo Barnus Cat.
And he is basically just walking around through our shots, and he's this big, gorgeous Norwegian forest cat.
Yeah.
And we just can't bear to put him out of the studio when we're working here.
So you're just going to have to be distracted by his beauty. He's literally laying on my script. Like, what is happening?
Another reason to check out the YouTube show.
Boo Boo.
So anyway,
yeah.
So thanks so much to Ecuador, Romania, and Democratic Republic of the Congo.
I like making new friends.
Yeah, really. And remember, it's not the Republic of the Congo, it's the other one. But again, it's like the Dakotas. You go to North Dakota, South Dakota, you get them confused, it's okay.
Yeah. It's
the
all
name
good.
Is similar. That being said, let's talk about the state of Maine, shall we?
Oh, the Maine problem.
The state of Maine, what a lovely place.
Yes.
It is one of those great little places where we go to.
Give me the deets.
I'll give you the deets right now. As it happens,
yes,
we go up to Maine, and let's explain the time of year. Let's kick off with the time of year that we went to Maine.
Yes.
We did not go during the leaf peeper season of autumn.
Tell me what a leaf peeper is.
A leaf peeper, these are the people, they tend to be elderly, and they're in recreational vehicles, these big Winnebago things.
Yeah.
And what they do is that they go driving around the country all the time. Everyone migrates up to the northeastern sector of the United States at this one time of year to watch leaves die.
I would like to see the leaves though. Like, I get it.
It's like the leaves are turning. It's Walt Whitman. It's ever so lovely. No, it's not. They're dying in front of you.
I'm all about culture.
There's no culture to a death of a leaf. Oh my gosh, and people go up there in droves.
But they're pretty.
No, so anyway, we said, we're going to go.
It just causes a lot of traffic and headache.
It does. And when we talk about traffic here in a little bit, it's an absolute nightmare to begin with. Add in a bunch of slow-going RVs, and you got you're at level 5 migraine.
Right.
So we decide, hey, what we're going to do is we are going to go up there during the month of June.
Yes.
Because we happen to be making a stop in Boston anyway.
Yeah.
Let's kill a couple of days up there.
Yeah.
So we go up there.
And we don't stay or do anything in Boston.
No.
Because we're going back to Boston and really do in Boston.
Yeah, because Boston needs to have its own show.
It does.
It really does. So what we said was, wouldn't it be nice if we picked up the car in Boston
Right.
and we drive on up? Okay,
Right.
so we go to Boston. We're at the Boston airport. We get the car. By the way, we expected traffic in Boston to be a lot worse than it was.
It was a dream.
Yeah, it was. It's like, oh, this is positively lovely. Thank you. Now, we all know from our travels, the worst drivers in the United States are in Ohio. Not even close.
Having lived there, I can confirm this.
Ohio has the worstest drivers ever.
Not worstest.
If you're visiting from another country, if you have the misfortune of going only to Ohio,
Right.
you're going to think all Americans drive like that.
Right.
We're actually pretty good. The other 49 are wonderful. Ohio, so bad.
They get in the fast lane
Yeah.
and go slow.
Yeah.
And then when you try and pass them,
Yeah.
they try and speed up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the things.
Yeah.
It's all the things.
They get mightily offended.
They get very offended.
It's like, Ohio, chill. So they're the worst drivers.
Yeah.
So we think it's going to be bad. We leave Boston. It's actually quite lovely.
Yeah.
But what we did not realize is that anywhere in the Northeast, and this is northern Massachusetts up to Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont.
Yeah.
The following is true. When you see the speed limit, subtract 5 miles an hour, and that's the speed you're going to go.
This is rivalry. It's, how do you say rivalry?
It rivals? What?
It rivals.
Yes.
It rivals the Ohio drivers.
Yes.
It is so bad.
Well, Ohio drivers, they're psychotic because they're weaving all over the place because they're trying to block you. These guys just go slow. It's like a moose is going to lunge out and go, oh, moose. And you're going to hit with your Camry or something.
I think there's the wildlife consideration.
Sure.
Also, I'm not positive on this, so if one of our listeners can tell us the actual truth, I think they have more by satellite speed
traps,
or
speed
like
zones.
speed monitoring or something.
They might have.
There's something going on because I was like, are these people in a cult? Like, I was like, everyone is driving 5 miles below the speed limit. Like, we're from the South.
Yeah.
We drive 10 miles above the speed limit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, Talladega Nights was set in Talladega, Alabama for a reason, damn it. We go quick down here.
Exactly.
And these people, I don't understand what it is, but it's
Yeah.
like it's like the Stepford Wives Drivers Academy has all been like, you will go slow, you will obey the speed limit and go under. It's like, no, we'd rather get there now because the states aren't big, but it takes forever to drive through the damn things.
Maybe it's because pot's legal there.
Oh, we'll talk about the pot legal bit in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So what happens is we drive through Boston. We can now say, by the way, and this is true, we have been to Harvard.
Oh, we've been to Harvard.
Harvard by the car park. We drove right by it. It's like, oh yeah, we have gone to Harvard. We are
Harvard.
Cambridge. That's right.
Yeah.
We've been to Harvard,
Yeah.
so we can put that on there.
It's pretty.
And we're like, the other thing that you notice when you're in the Northeast, and it's not a generalization, it's absolutely true. They have so many Dunkin Donuts.
Donkeys.
Gotta
get you
They've
donkeys.
got donkeys on it. It's like in the South we have Waffle House or what we call Wahoo. Up there it's all donkeys all the
I
time.
love me some donkeys. Gotta get my donkeys.
So it's like we get directions. People's like, yeah, go down the car park, go past the donkeys, go around the harbor, go to the other. It's like, okay. We know donkeys is a landmark. We totally understand.
We got it.
So what we do is we leave Boston, we go up to New Hampshire.
Yes.
It's like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
Yeah.
An hour and a half the way I would drive, 2.5 hours the way the locals drive. Swear to God, they don't move. We go to Nashua, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And there's all these great local regional places. We go to Chipotle's and get some Mexican food.
We were starving. Listen, we had just landed coming back from an international flight.
Yes.
That came into Boston.
Yes.
And so that's why we were really tired and really hungry. Can I just give a shout out to Nashua, though, for The Office, where Holly Flax, where she went to her.
Oh my gosh.
Where she had to leave Michael Scott and go to the other branch.
I forgot
that. Was
that.
Nashua, New Hampshire.
Oh my
Michael,
gosh.
Not the Dunder Mifflin.
Dunder Mifflin. Yeah.
She had to go to the Dunder Mifflin Nashua branch and leave Michael Scott.
Oh,
it was a heartbreaker of an episode.
I forgot all about that. But
Okay. Anyway.
So we go up there, we get Chipotle's, we go, this is great, and then went to bed.
Yeah, got to get over the jet lag.
Total jet lag, lots of sleep. And then we think, okay, we're in New Hampshire, this is great. You know what's right next to is Vermont.
Yeah.
Let's drive to Vermont.
Yes.
Okay, now
Never been.
This is where the vacation kind of starts.
Yeah, it is.
Because that first night was just an overnight, hey, jet lag, whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're on our way. We are going to knock out Vermont. We drive to the capital of Vermont, which, by the way, most people cannot name, and I've been there, and I can barely remember it because, not to say it's a forgettable city,
but it's teeny tiny.
It's 8,000 people.
It's super cute, but it is tiny. There's like a bridge, a main road, like a main street, a few like blocks of streets, with some shops, and like a couple of places to stay, and that's it.
Yeah. It's like, it's a burg. It's a village.
Yes. It's a village.
It's a hamlet. There's nothing, there's nothing there. Man. You're walking around.
That's a really good word.
There's 8,000 people.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, you're kidding me. By the way, it's Montpelier. For those of you keeping score at home, the capital is Montpelier. And we get there and we go, where's the rest of it? How do you not have like a Walmart Supercenter or a Costco?
Not everyone has to have a Walmart. Let's be clear.
They don't have a Waffle House either, but don't see me throwing rocks at them. So the whole time, so we stayed at a place called the Capitol Plaza Tapestry Collection Hilton.
Yes.
Long title.
Yes.
But it is absolutely a wonderful little place to be.
We like staying at Hilton's. We rack up some points there.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was really lovely. The room was super nice. Mm-hmm. We got upgraded.
Yes.
So we had some sort of suite on an upper level floor that had, it was like a living room, sitting room with like a mini kitchen. And then you walk down a hallway, actually. Yeah. And that's where your bathroom was. And it was a huge bathroom with a really nice shower. It was super nice. And then a whole like bedroom area. I think what they did was they took 2 regular rooms and made it one big room and called it a suite.
Yeah, and it's one of those few hotel rooms, and it was an older hotel.
It was old antique wood.
Yes.
That red sort of oaky cherry, like, and those reds and blues from like, it seemed very presidential. Like I was just like, oh my.
It's one of those unusual hotels that as I'm there, I'm thinking, do I have a sitting parlor? Because it felt like I actually had that in this room. Right. Like how, who are we entertaining on the guest list today? It's like, this is odd.
I'm like, we're important. No.
They also had them full. It was the off season. There are no leaf peepers fighting for this room.
Right.
So we said, okay. And they gave us, for some reason, $30 a day for food.
Right.
So that comes in. So it's like, you're going down for breakfast, aren't you? It's like, are there other options? No, just the breakfast for $30, yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. I'll take it.
I guess that's what we're doing. So
free is free, my friend.
So we traipse on down there. Everything is good. We walk around the town. It is very walkable just because it's so small.
Yeah, but it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the size of a Kmart.
Yeah.
The entire city is the size of a Kmart. There's nothing there. So we think, okay, well, this is nice. Let's see what we can do around here.
Yeah.
One thing we did not do, we did not go to Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
We really wanted to, and they were closed while we were there.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like, it was like.
They were closed for a week.
Yes.
We were there around Father's Day or
something? Yeah, it was something like, something was going on.
And so they closed for like the whole week.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So you don't sell ice cream this week?
They don't take you on tours.
I will eat ice cream this week, but some of you but they're still making it in the back. Little, Oompa Loompa guys are doing whatever making the ice cream. I don't know what's back there because they wouldn't show me. So we didn't do that, but what we did do, I was baffled and bamboozled, I tells you. So I said, you know what we ought to do? And this was actually your idea. Mm-hmm. Let's go over to Lake Champlain, which is like 45 minutes away. Let's hop in the rental car, and we're going to go over to Lake Champlain.
Yes.
So it's like, because it's a big lake, and, it borders other stuff, Canada, I think.
And so why not do this?
Hey, let's take a day trip.
It was a day trip, and we're going to Lake Champlain.
Yeah.
So we get there, and again, no plans at all.
Right.
And we think, what we're going to do? There's a boat on the lake, and it's one of these tour boat things that you get in, and you can just like go out on the lake for a few hours and have a little lunch or something like that.
It's the Lake Champlain Shoreline Cruises.
There you go.
And it was cute.
Yes. And the boat was the Spirit of Ethan Allen.
Yes.
Yeah. Within that whole set.
Yes. So you get the boat ride, and then you get a meal.
Yes.
And they play some music, and they tell you some history of some stuff.
Yeah.
You get to look at things.
Yeah.
Like, from the water.
Yes.
Like the shore.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what else.
Yeah, you're out for like 2.5, 3 hours or something like that. And you're taking a nice little trip. And that's like, so we go in, we pull in the parking lot. And it's like, we're doing that.
Right.
We're just spur of the moment. Didn't see a flyer or anything like that. It's like, we're getting on the boat.
Yeah.
So we get on the boat. We're a last second booking, and apparently when you sit down, everyone gets a bread basket. We didn't get bread.
I was literally irritated that we did not get the bread.
Yeah.
Just had to plug something else in. I was really just looking. Listen, I just am trying to do my job.
I just wanted some bread.
Yeah, so we don't get the bread. So I was already disappointed, but it didn't set the total tone, but it did set a bit of a tone.
Oh, but it got worse so fast.
Yeah, it did.
So now the buffet happens, and the food happens, and the food's good.
And listen, we don't usually say, we are not we are not bad about going somewhere and trying to find everything wrong with it and picking it apart. And we don't usually say when a few like here and there, one or two little things isn't like perfect.
Yeah. We let things slide
but
pretty
we're going to
well.
let y'all know about this because y'all need to know about what happened on the boat and then the customer service.
Yeah, because this is one of those things that's never happened to me before.
Yeah.
And by the way, we never play the Voca Vacay card. We're never like, we're with Voca Vacay. We'll say good things and bad things. No,
nobody knows who we are anyway.
Whereas not, well, except in Ecuador and the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Our 2 listeners.
Statues are being commissioned. So
waiting with bated breath for every episode.
So we're out there and we're in and the waitress comes by and she goes, "Would you like some more coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And we didn't hit a wave or anything. It's not like the boat bounced. We're sitting there and this lovely waitress just pours coffee right on my lap.
Yeah.
And
it was bad.
It was hot coffee.
It was bad.
To which, and Marie can attest to this, I have a pretty good pain threshold on stuff where it's like things don't, it's like I can take the hit, I'm okay.
Sure.
This hurt because basically it got my right thigh.
Right.
It just on the leg. I was like, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And it was not like a little bit of a splash.
Yeah.
She went to pour the coffee and I don't know what happened, but her body physically moved as she was starting to pour and she poured into your lap. And then by the time she realized it wasn't going in the cup, too much had already come out.
Yeah.
I mean, it gave you a welt.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm wearing regular jeans anyway.
It was through jeans, y'all.
And I'm like, ow.
Yeah,
so
it was bad.
So she does that. And I'm like, ow, 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 ow. So she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, you just literally spilled coffee on me.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting napkins and dabbing out. She goes, "Oh," and I don't think she said, "I'm sorry." She's like, "Oh no."
Yeah. And then
she
walked away.
Now, here's the thing. No one checks on us later. We were actually avoided for the duration of the trip.
Yeah.
I had to go up to one of the other levels where the kitchen was.
And get a bag of ice.
And say, "Can I get a bag of ice on my leg?" And the gal up there's like, "Oh, no."
She was horrified.
Yeah. She's like, "That's awful. Here's the ice. Have a nice day." I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the trip we're winding down, and by now we've done the U-turn. We're headed back to, wherever the dock is.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, this was a lot of fun because now I'm not looking at the window because I've seen Lake Champlain from the other view. I've seen it again. It's just water. I want to get off the boat. Get off the boat. We go to the guy at the ticket counter.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How was the trip?" No, actually, it was New England. So he's like, "How's the trip going? Did you have the chowder and the butter and the car park?" And so he's saying that. I said, "No, actually, they kind of poured hot coffee on me."
And I walked away.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to just not let them have it, but just let them know that my problem was nobody did anything.
Yeah.
Like there was no
accidents happen.
Accidents happen.
Sure.
But there was no like, can I help somehow? Like further? Can I escort you to the bathroom so that I can give you a bag of ice? Can we how bad is it?
Yeah.
Like what is the deal? Like there was just such ambivalence that if I would have been asked about it, it would have not been great.
No.
My feedback would not have been good.
No. So I just said, "Well, this happened." He goes, "That's a bummer." Okay. And he's like, "You want to go again?"
And we're like, "No.
No, we'd like to leave now."
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what you get.
So anyway,
Lake Champlain Shoreline Cruises.
Spirit of Ethan Allen.
Not happy.
Yeah, not happy. It's just like, oh boy, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Montpelier, the metroplex that is Montpelier.
Which was a good, what's it called? A refuge?
Yes.
From our experience.
Yes, it really was.
That was, So turning it around.
Let's
get back to the trip and have some fun.
We're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
So we got some pizza.
We got some pizza and it was really good.
It was pizza. And it's like, we're going to do that. We thought, okay, this is Vermont. You know what? We've seen it. Let's move on.
Yeah, sure.
On to New Hampshire.
We're going back to New Hampshire.
Now, the thing is, if you look
but
at
not Nashua.
No. If you look at, that's right, because if you look at New Hampshire, it's a vertical state. It's taller than it is wide.
Right.
Like a basketball player.
Yes.
I
just got that.
It's like tall and lean also. So we're shooting through New Hampshire now.
Sorry, I'm looking at all this equipment and I'm like, oh, he made a joke and it was really good. Okay.
In a previous life, let's explain New Hampshire. In the middle of the state, about halfway up, there's a town called North Conway.
Yes.
There's also a South Conway, an East Conway, and a Center Conway.
Okay.
They ran out of names, so everything is named
Conway.
Look it up. I'm not making this up. This is absolutely true.
Yeah.
In a previous life, I was actually going up there to start a restaurant / brew pub.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. It's just one of those things we thought about doing. And this is well before you and I met. But I thought, hey, some friends are going to do it. I'll do it with them. 6 months later, it's like, this is not happening. I moved down to Georgia. As it happens, we were going to start a place called the Cranberry Moose.
Oh, I love that name.
I came up with it. A lovely name. I thought this is going to work out great. It turns out that someone else bought it and called it the Muddy Moose.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons we went across New Hampshire this way, because we were making our way over to Maine, over the
East Coast, sure.
Is because I wanted to see where you had been in your previous life. I wanted to see where you lived and the restaurant that you almost started. Like, I wanted to see the things.
Right.
The town was cute.
Oh, yeah.
And I got the impression that there was people. Do people come there to ski?
Yes.
And then the leaf peepers.
Mount Washington is up there, so big ski season.
Yeah.
Leaf peepers before that.
Yes.
And when it's not snow on the ground, great hiking because you got all the mountains around there and people go climb and go do whatever they're going to do.
Understood. Well, it was really cute, and it was so funny to me that it was almost the same exact name.
Yes.
That you had.
Oh, yeah. It floored me. We pulled in. It's like, what? But, I mean, even they called it Cranberry Moose. It's not like I'm going to do anything like, you stole the name. It's like, no, good for you.
And did they own it? How long after you almost bought it?
About a year.
Did you ever interact with them?
Never did, because we almost bought it. Then another buyer came in, almost bought it. And then this family bought it.
Got it. Okay.
And I won't get into their names or anything. I'm not going to invade their privacy or anything like that. But I will say this. It's a lovely family. I would highly recommend it. It's called the Muddy Moose in North Conway.
And it's a lovely family establishment.
Yes. So just tell you what we had. I had the Muddy Moose Burger because, they have a Muddy Moose Burger.
Delicious.
And I had root beer, because I'm driving.
Buzzkill.
Not a problem for the little women over there. Instead, you had an IPA, one of those happy little drinks.
I had the 603, the old 603.
The 603 and the Moose's favorite Reuben.
I did. Oh God, I love a Reuben.
You're not fat. You're well-rounded.
I love a Reuben. Give me that kraut. That kraut and that Thousand Island dressing. I love it.
I had the burger.
Corned beef brisket.
I got some corned beef brisket and some chowder.
I'm not even doing the accent. Like, I just am like, so good.
The daughter of the owner came up and we said, can we just take some pictures of the inside of this place? Because we really are enjoying this. I told her the backstory. And she said, you've got to be kidding me. We didn't know about Cranberry Moose. We called it Muddy Moose.
Yeah.
But apparently the dad came in. He's a restaurateur kind of guy out of Boston. And he just totally rebuilt the thing. It looks better than what we would have come up with.
Yeah, that's nice.
I will give them all the accolades possible.
Yeah.
It's a really great place. She sat down with us for about 15, 20 minutes off. Now she had to do some other work. She'd come back and she gave us like
she was lovely.
A Muddy Moose pie, which is their signature dessert, which I strongly recommend everybody get. So
don't eat anything else though. Like, it is so good and so rich.
Yeah.
I took like one bite and I was like, I'm done.
And then I ate the rest.
And then you ate the rest.
Because Mama didn't raise no quitter. It's like, here's our free signature dessert. What, am I going to be rude and walk away? No, I will lick the plate by the time it's all done.
Yep.
They will know what a good thing they did by giving me their free dessert because I appreciated every single bite.
Oh, good.
It was so good. So, yeah, we totally did that.
Yeah.
And highly recommend Muddy Moose in North Conway, New Hampshire. Get up there if you can.
If anyone keeps hearing a little bop, it's because I keep hitting my microphone. I'm so sorry.
Well, no. It's because we're also leery of that cat jumping back up on the table again.
Oh, boo-boo. Okay.
So we said, okay, New Hampshire. Now, New Hampshire, we're shooting over to Maine.
Yes. This was a day trip. Like, we just went across and stopped in North Conway.
Stopped in North Conway, literally had lunch.
Yeah.
And, they're tiny little states. And if you can do anything close to the speed limit up there, you're going to be fine. So now we're into Maine.
Yes.
A couple of observations about Maine.
We're into the Maine problem.
We're into the Maine problem. Let me explain something about Maine. And we love people up in Maine.
We do.
But there are two kinds of shops that are kind of everywhere.
Oh, my God.
What?
It's just funny.
Tell me I'm wrong about this. One, they sell lobster.
Lobsters.
Two, they sell reefer.
Oh, my God. The whole thing is we think people up there live on pot and lobster.
Yeah.
Like it is.
The entire attitude of people up there is like everything's good. This actually explains why they're driving below the speed limit all the time.
That's what I was saying.
It's not because a satellite is like tracking their every move. They're just like, dude, watch for moose. Watch for lobster.
You got to watch when you're, on the pot.
So, but everything, it's like there's so many, look, they've legalized it. And for those of you outside the United States, one will explain that marijuana and dispensaries or cannabis or medical or recreational, there's a whole bunch of different levels, a whole bunch of different states do a whole bunch of different things.
All kinds of different rules and regulations for different states. And I believe that federally, though, it's all still illegal.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be doing it, but statewide, it's one of those things. It's not enforced.
There's different rules, regulations, and so So when this comes up sometimes when we travel.
Yeah.
We go to states and sometimes it's legal.
Sometimes it's legal for medicinal or recreational.
Right.
Apparently, Maine just discovered marijuana.
And they love
it. Makes the lobster not sound like a bug or a critter you got from the sea. And they're just, oh my gosh. Every other store.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's like in
good
some.
Good for them. Listen, you go big.
Whatever,
you go big.
Yeah, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to point out that they are everywhere. It's sort of like in some cities they have vape shops all over because people are vaping all over the place. Up there, it's a different kind of dispensary.
Well, in the South, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a wahoo.
Yeah,
so
I know.
There you go.
Yeah, so we got a wahoo 2 miles from our house.
There's 2 wahoos on every interstate exit when you enter. When you go south of the Mason-Dixon line, just be prepared.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Because we are. So now, we're going through Maine, and we go through the most famous person ever to be in the state of Maine.
Yes.
Is Stephen King.
Right.
The writer.
And you've read a lot.
I've read quite a few of his books.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he's in the town of Bangor. What was that?
That's my little Stephen King scary insert. Let me do it again. I like it.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you will see that Marie's in charge of the sound effects bank.
I shouldn't be.
And while she's over that, I'm over here with my left hand. I'm running the video switcher. So we have a multi-camera operation. So she's doing all the audio live. I'm doing all the video live. We do this all in one take.
If we make it big, we're going to hire a tech person because this is a lot.
Yeah, someone has to plug this stuff in so we can worry about things like content.
Which clearly we're awesome at. Okay.
So Stephen King's place, it is well known. You can find it easily. It's on the maps. It's like, oh yeah, Stephen King in neighborhood. You go down there. I'll stop.
It's not by the car park.
I'll stop. It's a lovely neighborhood with huge homes.
Yeah.
These homes are like 5,000 square foot minimum.
They're gorgeous.
And they get bigger from there.
It's a great neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's
I love this neighborhood. Big, wide boulevards.
Yes, and it's quaint. Mm-hmm. It's very Americana, actually.
It is.
It's nice, like tree-lined streets, really wide paved streets.
Yes.
Nice houses. It's idyllic.
Yeah.
It's exactly the opposite of everything you read in his books.
Yeah, you read Stephen King.
Well, no, that's not true because that's one of his things, right?
Yeah.
Like he takes the
Americana
ordinary
thing.
and the normal.
And then the monsters come out.
And then the monsters come out. Right.
Yeah, exactly
okay, cool.
right.
Yeah, okay.
So we go there and we think, wow, this is a nice house. But upon further inspection, you realize there's a wrought iron fence. And the wrought iron fence has welded into it. It's part of the design pattern. There's big spiders.
Big spiders and dragons.
There's dragons and there's gargoyle things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is kind of like it's a head start for Halloween decorations all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's ready for Halloween every year.
That's the guy. So here's the thing. We see this really creepy house. The house is lovely, but the fences kind of gets this creep factor.
Yeah.
And we think, you know what? I've read a couple of Stephen King books, so let me give you an unbiased review of Stephen King.
Yes.
Because it's, there are some of his books that are very, very, very good.
I love it.
And I can't get over some of them. They are so amazing.
Give me the deets.
Green Mile.
Okay.
If you've seen Green Mile, and then that was later made into a fantastic Tom Hanks movie.
Yes.
Green Mile is top level stuff there.
Yeah.
Needful Things was good. Salem's Lot, Dead Zone, Pet Cemetery, Carrie, all very good. Start to finish, great books. I've read them all.
Yeah, Carrie was a great movie.
Yeah. And a great movie. Even like Pet Cemetery.
Right, yeah.
The movie's like, yeah, okay, this will work.
And
good
for
ideas.
you youngsters out there listening, we're talking about the OG Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
The original.
Yes.
I mean, we know another one just came out. We watched it.
Yeah.
I thought it was meh. But the original
was
that's
like,
what you got to see.
Yeah. And read the book too, because creepy crawly stuff is wonderful.
Yeah.
Then there are the books that they start out really good and then they just kind of fall apart at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
The Shining, scariest book I ever read until the last 2 pages.
Oh, but the movie was so good.
The movie is so
and
awesome.
so iconic.
And he didn't like the movie. Stephen King did not like the movie.
Well, I don't think he hated it. When I watched the interviews and stuff,
right.
He is not, you can tell outwardly that he is not a fan of the making, like how it turned out.
Right.
But I don't think he hated it.
I don't think he did either, but it's one of those where if you read the book, the last 2 pages, like, that was it. You know, it's like, it's kind of disappointing at the end.
But the TV show, it more closely followed, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
The TV movie they did.
Yeah.
Yes. The Stand. Same thing. The Stand is a big honking book. You get all the way through the end. It's like, that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Last page. That's such a cop out.
Yeah.
And I will say that Tommy Knocker, same way, terrible ending. And the Dark Tower series, which is 6 or 7 books.
Wow.
They're all massive books. I read every single one. I'm like, this is going to be the greatest, most epic. I'm going to spoil it for you right now. If you haven't read it, I don't care. When you get to the end of Dark Tower, it's all about the guy who's chasing Roland is the good guy and the Man in Black.
Okay.
And the entire 7 books, they're fighting each other.
Okay.
There's going to be a great epic
haven't
battle.
read it.
At the very end, 20 pages, maybe 30 pages from the end, they introduce a new character called the Artist.
What? That's
At the
such
very,
an odd time.
very, very end.
No one does
a
that.
new character called the Artist.
Yeah.
And whenever he draws, he can erase it. It disappears in real life. Oh. He draws the Man in Black, erase him with a pencil eraser, and he's gone.
That seems too convenient.
Way too convenient. It's like there's no battle. That's it.
Yeah.
You copped it out for a minor character who's there at the very end. Oh, I was sick. People, Dark Tower's great. No, it's not. No, don't read the last book. I just ruined it for you, but I don't care. It's bad. And then you have some really awful books like The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, which I'm sorry, some people are like, it's great, it's lovely. You know, it's dull, it's boring, and it has no point.
Jeez.
It's just
tell me how you really feel.
It's a disappointment. So,
okay, well, listen, I loved The Shining, and as an auteur, like, I believe that if you're going to take on a project, even if you have the rights to it from someone else, it is your what am I trying to say?
Creative vision.
Yes, it is. And so I loved what Kubrick did there. So I'm glad it happened.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And the book is scary and the movie is scarier.
Yeah.
And so Stephen King, you want to hang out at his place, you can go, let's go see Stephen King's place. Yeah. And we totally did.
And so then we were thirsty.
Yes.
So which way is the bar?
You got to have it was about 4:00. It's about cocktail hour.
Well, I got to balance my literary, endeavors with a little bit of, I have to quaff something I tell you. So,
so where do we go? A bar we found in the area called Nocturnum.
Dun, dun, dun,
now that sounds
it seemed fitting.
It was very fitting.
Yes.
I loved it.
Lovely place. And by the way, Maine, they do have a lot of microbreweries. The entire Northeast is big on microbreweries.
That's true, because that's the thing we were talking about, pot and Lobstah. It's also huge on microbrews.
Yes.
And just breweries and beer.
Yes.
And home brew. Like, I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah, so they have a good time up there. So they're microbrews. And didn't you have, what was the name of your beer? It's really disturbing.
They had one called Baby Kittens. Mm-hmm. And it was from Fat Orange Cat Brew Company.
Or Car Brew Company?
I don't know. You're the one that wrote this.
I thought it was Car.
Anyway, listen.
The important thing is the name of the beer is Baby Kittens.
Orange Cat something brew company.
Yes.
Anyway, it was fantastic. we will put I'm going to make a note of this. I took a picture of the beer can. Actually, I took a little video turning the can.
Yeah.
I'll put that on our socials with the actual name of the company.
Okay.
Because it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was an IPA. I mean, that's what I like.
But it was called Baby Kittens, and you ordered it because it was called Baby Kittens.
I did, because I love me some cats.
Let's be honest. It's like, I miss our babies at home. This one's Baby Kittens. So you're like, all right, bring one of those.
Yes.
So,
do you remember what you had?
I think I had a root beer.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, because you were driving. You're always driving.
Yeah.
But they also had, it was like Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
So we had really lovely, like, dollar tacos, and they were fantastic. I think we each got like 3.
Yeah. They said, you want some tacos? And it's like, can we have more? And they said, yeah, we'll bring as many as you want. So we just open the trough and shovel. And we did. Oh, it's so good. So then we say, okay, so now we're in the car. We are well fed. We are well literatured. It is time to go to our destination.
I feel smarter.
Which is Rockland, Maine.
Yes.
Rockland, not to be confused with Rock Point, Rock Oil, Rocky Road, or anything like that. Yeah. Everything's named after rocks up there.
Yeah, it's
confusing.
It's true.
We go to Rockland, Maine.
Yeah.
We go to the Hampton Inn in Thomaston.
Oh, man, that was a good room, too.
Yeah. Again, another good room. We get upgrade to a room. They have a jacuzzi in it.
I was like, whoa. What kind of trip is this?
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Are we on our honeymoon? Yeah, it was one of those ones. It's like a big jacuzzi tub, thing beside the bed. I was like,
wow.
I mean,
ooh.
Hello.
Yeah, we're going to play some Barry White CDs and go, ooh, it's a night for romance and a special dinner. We got Domino's.
We did. We got another pizza. We were tired. What do you want from me?
I just ate like a muddy moose pie and had to drink had tacos. It's like, now I need a proper dinner of Domino's pizza. So got Domino's. But here's the thing. If you don't know where we are, we're on the eastern seaboard coast of the Atlantic. We're halfway up Maine.
Yeah.
And we did this for a couple of reasons. Primarily, it's because we wanted to get someplace close to all the things we want to see up there.
Right.
Because the coast of Maine is beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't have to go any special time of year. We went in June.
It's gorgeous.
And it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this place.
Totally.
So we get up there and we think, okay, we're halfway up the Maine coast. And then we see something that is intriguing. And listen, okay, I'm going to put the camera on me for a second. This is where you always listen to the wife. Men listening out there, listen to your wife, because we saw this thing happen repeatedly.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
And I kept saying, no, is this on? Are we recording this one? Oh, darn it. Turns out
I was right.
There's a thing which I did not know what it was, and in my naivete and just stupidness, I said, let's skip these. These are called lobster.
Okay, we kept seeing what I would say is a lobster shack.
Yes.
But they're called lobster pounds.
Right.
And I looked it up at one point, and it is kind of named after how in the water the lobsters are kept in an area after they're caught, or they're farmed. It's like the place where they're farmed or something, and it's like a pound or by the pound, however they do it.
Yeah.
And then it's usually just an establishment near where they're farmed.
Yes.
Or I guess lobstered, where they're taken from the sea. And then they're very fresh. They come in and you just buy them.
Yeah.
But some of them were shacks, but some of them were actually substantial buildings that had restaurants.
Yes.
But they were all called lobster pounds. And I'm like, oh, should we stop at one of these? What? And what's this one? This one says they have it for $12.99. This one says $15.99. This one says, oh my God, $8. I was like, what are we? I'm sensory overload. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So we didn't do any of it.
No.
But I did say maybe we should stop in and just ask and see.
Yeah. And
you were like, no, we're going to go. We're going to go.
I'm like, no. A couple things, woman. Number one, I'm driving. Number two, I don't know what a lobster pound is. If it's a pound of lobster.
I know.
Or if it's remember when they used to have what they call the dog pounds?
Right.
Where it's that's where the dogs are. It's a lobster pound. That's where the lobsters hang out.
Right. And you don't really eat them there or buy them there. We didn't know.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's a store. You just get a lobster and now I've got a lobster. What am I going to do with a lobster?
I'm at a hotel. I can't stick it in a pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a jacuzzi, but that's not going to be warm enough. Things gonna be thrashing around for an hour. I don't know what to do with it.
That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible. Okay, you're going in, lobster man, and it's I don't know. It's just gonna flop.
It's the most action that jacuzzi saw anyway.
Well, in my defense, I had Domino's pizza. So now it's we go by the lobster pounds, and my thinking was, look, we're going to go to Portland before this is all over. We're going to go to the big city.
That's true.
So let's just get lobsters there because lobsters will be cheaper, and you'll find out in a couple of minutes I was wrong. I was so wrong. Lobsters are cheaper anywhere but Portland, Maine.
I think it's funny now.
Yeah, it's funny now, but suddenly it's why are we paying triple the amount we could have got that stupid lobster pound in the middle of nowhere, Maine?
The thing is it's kind of when you're in Florida and you go past all the Disney memorabilia shacks on the road on the way to Disney, and you're I'm not going to stop at one of those. I'm going to get one proper at Disney.
Yeah.
And then you're $45 later for a plush toy.
Yeah.
You're what was I thinking?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works, because here I am going, well, the Harry Potter wand, the knockoff costs $4, and then we go to the Universal Park or whatever it is, it's $27. But I'm smart.
We should have got the $12 lobster.
Lobster at the lobster pound. So we said, no. But the reason we're up in this area is we want to go to Acadia National Park.
True.
In the 48 states, that is the park that is the least visited.
I love it. That's such a good goal.
It is so remote and it's way up there. And we thought, we're going to Acadia. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Acadia. And I didn't know a couple things about Acadia. And so we're going to warn you now about this national park, which nature. Oh, nature. Ah.
I hear a stream. I feel one with the world and nature.
It's a brook that babbles. Turns out a couple things about Acadia. Number one, you cannot take an RV up there.
I love that.
Recreational vehicles are verboten. You're not taking one in. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And it's primarily because the roads. And I think they also want people not be leaf peepers and drive, 17 miles an hour. They want you to get through the park.
Right.
So we do that. But here is the problem that we had.
Yeah.
As we're going there, a couple things. Once you get into Acadia Park, you really can't exit.
Yeah.
It's hard to make like a U-turn or something like that. It's just not built that way.
Yeah.
So once you're on the loop, you're going on the loop. The thing is that it's open all the time or daylight hours.
Yeah.
But you have to book one part for Cadillac Summit Road.
Oh, right.
This is the road you drive up. It is the high point elevation. You get up to Cadillac Summit Road and go, you can overlook the majesty. You can see, other little hills and you can see the water and all that stuff, but you have to book a time.
Yeah.
And the only way to do this, and again, you have to time out when you're on this road, because if you miss your time, you can't get in. If you go too early, you can't get in.
Right.
And there's no holding pen down at the bottom of the Summit Road.
Right.
So you have to time it just perfectly.
Right.
Compounding this problem, I'm warning you guys in advance because this drove us absolutely batty when we got there.
Yeah, people need to know this.
When you get there, you have to book a time to get on Cadillac Summit Road.
Yes.
You have to book it on your phone.
Yes.
Because there's a little group there, or there's a little ranger station. You go there, it's like, can you help us? They're like, no. We can't help you book the one thing that you're here to see.
Right.
Well, I have to be there at a specific time. Yeah, we know it. You got to get there at the right time or you can't go. Can you help me book it? No. You got to do it on your phone. So we got on the phone and guess what? Their reception is atrocious.
It's so bad.
The cell phone reception is like, wait. Now the cell phones don't work. And it's one of those where you have to like stand on the hood of a Buick and hold like a metal rod in one hand and the phone in the other. And you have to be pointed directly to the north to get any kind of signal at all.
It took us 15 minutes to go through the pages.
Yes.
Because if you're patient and you wait, it will eventually, like each page will load.
Sure.
But it takes time.
It is not user friendly. And as a user, I want things to be friendly.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Finally, Murray, who's actually the technical person of the two of us, because she understands these things. You just hooked up my Apple Watch to something this morning, actually. She did. I'm not making that.
You're being tracked.
That's so you can follow me at all times. She finally figures it out, and we say, hey, let's go up there. Let's drive up. She got it booked. We drove through Acadia. It's nice. We drive all the way up there, and we're going to see the ocean. We're going to see New Hampshire. On a good day, you can see Canada and all this stuff. It is so damn cloudy when we get up there, you can't see 8 feet from your face. We park in the parking lot, turn around. It's like, I lost my car. You're in a river of cloud. And the whole time I'm just like, why? Why did I pay and schedule everything? It's like, okay, so like, here's what a cloud looks like from the inside.
It was really
Oh my gosh, we get up there. It's like,
oh, Jesus.
Hey, you know what you get to see here? Fog.
Come get your fog.
I get your fog right here. You know, it's over there. It's the donkeys. Can't see it through the fog. There's an occluded front on this cloud front here. You know what that is? Fog. I'm like, oh my God. Could not see a damn thing.
I would have punched a kitten for some donkeys at the top of that mountain. Just to be like, well, at least I got some donkeys.
We're looking around, and there's people who are trying to hide their disappointment, and there's children, small children, I tells you, who are, oh, Father, will we see Canada from here? It's like, yes, you'll see Canada past the Bangor and the harbour, and you go up there, and you can't see a thing.
You can't see anything,
Oh,
man.
my God. Disappointed.
Like, how many fingers do I have? Jesus.
It was so bad. I'm like, why? Why did we do this? And all this effort and energy. So we get up there, and then for one brief shining moment, the clouds parted or the fog lifted. It's like, this what it looks like. Get the camera. Too late. Fog's back in. Mother Nature toyed with me like a bad prom date. I was so sad.
I don't know why, but it's just no one listening was there. But when we talk about it, it's one of those things where you're like, oh man, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Oh
man.
Oh.
This the attitude when you get all the way. It's like, what do you mean they closed the Grand Canyon? Yeah, it's not there. They filled it in for the weekend.
Oh my God, no, that happened to me.
What?
Not the Grand Canyon thing.
Okay.
But I went when I was younger and backpacked in Germany.
Yeah.
And I went to the Brandenburg Gate.
Yeah.
And they were doing construction on it.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a tarp over it that was the picture of it. And I was like, this is a ripoff. I was like, whoa, only time I'll ever be here in my life.
Yeah.
But okay, thanks, bye. Like, I was like, whatever.
This is lame. Thank God I flew coach.
I know.
If this was an expensive trip, I'd be quite put out.
Thank God I'm only on a backpacker's budget and spent all of my money on train to get here and was only eating bread for 3 days just to get here and see this one thing. And now it's just a tarp with a picture on it. God.
That's how we felt. That's the highest point of Portland. The highest point. You can see all the New England states or not. Well, we didn't. I drove out of there in a foul mood. You might as well throw coffee on my lap again, New England.
This is why they have microbrews and pot.
So you can deal with the crushing disappointment of living up there 365.
And putting up with all the leaf peepers.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. We're going to stay the night. We're going to Portland. This is it.
This is it.
Let's get to Portland.
Okay.
It's going to turn for us now.
Let's just breathe it. Just moving on. Let's just let it go. Let it go.
No, let's explain something.
Cool green pastures.
We had a rental car, by the way.
Yes, we did.
And I don't know if we just say the name of the place we rented it from, but it is their enterprise to get us a car. What? We rented it in Boston, and we take it back in Portland. The reason is because we stayed at a place called the Canopy by Hilton Waterfront.
It was lovely.
It was literally, I think it's the nicest hotel room we've ever had, or one of the nicest hotel rooms we've ever had. Okay, listen,
this makes up for so many things.
I
don't know why, but this entire trip, it was all about the room upgrades. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, who are we? Are we important? Like, I'm like, this is, so if for anything,
yes,
we at least got the best room upgrades we've ever gotten.
Yes, this is absolutely true. I felt like a Kardashian the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, they're like, right this way. It's like, I know we're in off season. We got a couple of points, but thank you so much. No one else is here.
Yeah.
We're in.
So it was the Canopy by Hilton.
Yes.
And we got, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying it is walking distance to everything in downtown Portland.
It is literally, like, there's a couple hotels right on the waterfront.
Yes.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
It's probably the nicest one.
It's
also kind of boutique and kind of like bougie and kind of cute and like kind of.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a chain at all.
It's edgy too. Like it's very,
it's a nice place. So Canopy by Hilton Waterfront, shout out to you guys.
I felt cooler just breathing the air in there.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm cool, man.
But it's walking distance, everything. So here's the important thing that's going to come back later on in this program here.
Yeah.
We had a car that we rented in Boston and we took it back to the Portland airport because we're in Portland for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no point in having a car. We're going to walk every place. Plus they charge it for parking. So we think, well, let's just go ahead and drop the car off and take an Uber back to the hotel and all that. Okay. So we've gotten rid of the car.
We have essentially ditched the car.
Yeah. We're off the grid.
I was irritated though because they were like, you have to pay for all these miles, and I was like, that's not what I booked.
Yeah.
But then listen, in their defense, they solved it.
Yeah.
This is the trip of like balance.
Yes.
For everything that was kind of weird and wonky, something else happened that was great. Like that room we got upgraded to, no joke, I'm not kidding. We got upgraded to a presidential suite.
Yes.
I looked online. I was like, which room is this?
Yeah.
I have to know.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I told him, I don't want to leave. Like, I was like, we could stay here forever at this rate.
Yes.
Because I think it was like $1 million off. I was like,
we just got bumped up to, and
so balance. It's all balance.
And here's the thing. We totally did not deserve that upgrade.
Yeah, that's true.
They just gave it to us like, oh, thank you. That's lovely.
They were Listen, they knew Voca Vacay was coming. No, I'm just kidding.
We're incognito. We're anonymous. So they say, okay,
you're a virus.
Yeah. So here's what you got to do. They gave us a map of downtown Portland and said, walk around and you can't get lost. Just keep the ocean on one side of you and you'll be fine. That's pretty much it. It's like the ocean's over there.
And then downtown's behind us.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go walk around. Portland is a lovely town, by the way.
Man, it's got lots of good places to eat.
It really does. And so we're looking all at the food map.
Yes.
And they said, here's a food map, and there's a couple things that you really wanted to have that we said we got to have in addition to the lobster.
The lobster.
One of them was chowder.
We need chowder.
We got to have chowder.
So we go to Gilbert's Chowder House.
Yes.
It was
We go there for lunch.
It was so good.
And you can get a large bowl or you can get it in a bread bowl.
Right.
I think we just got the large bowl.
We did.
Yeah. Which was a whole lot of chowder.
But listen to this.
Chowder. Yeah.
When we got the lobster roll, it was a $20 lobster roll.
Yeah.
That's when I looked at you and said, lobster pounds, $12.99. I was like, is it going to be like this the whole time? And it was. The lobster was so expensive in Portland. Now, listen, we work with a guy where our actual day jobs are.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's from this area. And I've not talked to him yet, but I guarantee you when I say to him, hey, we're dropping our new episode. Check it out. It's from your old stomping grounds. And I tell him this, he's going to be like, oh yeah, everybody knows that up there. Don't get the lobster in Portland.
Oh God, don't get it in Portland.
That's only what the tourists do.
You fool. Why would you possibly do that when there's lobster pounds up the road, you idiot?
I know.
You get for a third of the price.
Oh God.
Our loss is your gain.
Yes.
Trust us on this one. Leave Portland, get lobsters at the lobster pounds. So we did that. We also got clam cake bites, which were lovely.
Those were lovely. They're just like crab cakes or clam cake or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're breaded and they drop them in a fryer. It's so good.
So anyway, it's like, wow, how can we just continue our seafood excursion here? Because that was lunch. For dinner, we went to a place called the Porthole.
Yes.
We got, and it's like, well, let's scale it down a little bit. So let's get the fry seafood platter. It's seafood. It's a platter and it's fried and it's huge.
It was so much fried deliciousness.
It's like, how many people is this for? Because the two of us can pound this sucker out, and we did.
Oh my God.
Now we had this on.
You're not fat. You're well-rounded.
No. I'm putting on the pounds here because trips like this. As it happens, we were on a back deck overlooking the harbor. And the wharf and the boats and that. So we're out there, and it was actually a very cool attitude of everyone there. It's like, okay, this is nice. I will say this, the Porthole, though, I think it's geared towards a younger audience than me. And just because there is music out there and the music's kind of loud.
Yeah, it's
a party vibe.
It was a party vibe.
Yeah.
And that's okay sometimes. But I think we were kind of like just chilling. But it was nice to have music and be on the water there, and it was nice.
It was very nice. It was great. So that's the Porthole, and Porthole's great.
Yeah.
Really good food. So then we go, okay.
How can we get more lobster and overpay for it? How can we get more lobster and overpay for it?
Well, here's the deal. You're overpaying in the restaurants, but then we decided to do something that was lobster related, and this was not an overpayment because this was an excursion. This was worth every penny.
Okay, this, again, balance.
Balance.
It's all about balance. So we had found online before we had left for the trip this place, and so we ended up just booking it, like doing it.
The Lucky Catch.
Oh, it was fantastic.
The Lucky Catch had a sunset feast.
Yes.
Okay, let's explain to this.
Sunset feast.
So we go back to the room. And we're like, oh, presidential suite. It's like, oh, nice jacuzzi. I'm going to bed. So, sack out. The next day, we basically just burn the day, walk around Portland. All is good. We catch the sunset feast on the Lucky Catch. And here's what it is. They have a couple of boats out there, and they tour. It's Casco Bay. That's where Portland is. We get on the boat called the St. Croix.
Yeah.
And what you do is that they just zip you across Casco Bay, and they take you to dinner.
Yes.
Now, this dinner, it's outdoors. So you pull up, there's a large tent, and this on Peaks Island, as Marie found later. It's like, oh, yeah, Peaks Island. So we wrote that down. You go to Peaks Island, and they pull off, and there's a lovely large tent, and there's picnic tables.
It's like a clam bake, but it's lobster.
Yeah, and this officially the Island Lobster Company.
That's who does the dinner.
The dinner.
The feast.
Yeah. And so you can go and buy drinks from them, but it's part of the tour. Yeah. You can and you did.
I did. They serve you this one drink.
Which way is the bar?
And it's literally in a bucket. It's like a bucket of cocktail.
Yeah.
The bucket's about, I don't know, you can't see me with my voice.
Yeah.
But if you're
it's
looking.
Good sized.
It's good sized bucket drink. It's kind of like when you go to the hibachi restaurant and order the fish bowl.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But instead of fish, it's alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not going to say no. We're not going to be rude.
The fish bowl at hibachi's alcohol.
Yeah.
Not fish. You're killing me, Smalls. No, but so it was really good.
So it's good. So we're sitting there. And by the way, here's a helpful tip from people who have traveled. Whenever there's a buffet, get a table close to the buffet. We see all these people. It's like, we're going to sit far, far away over by the car park. We're sitting away. It's like, where's the lobsters at? Sit right next to them. And true. We did.
It's 100% true.
Because then it's like they literally ring a bell. It's like, ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Come get the lobsters. First one up to the lobster bar is us.
No shame.
We're shoving people out of the way. It's like, oh, where are you from? Delaware. I'll go back there. You're behind me now. We go hauling up there, and oh my gosh, it is. We got the lobster. They had clam chowder, mussels, potatoes, corn on the cob, and a whoopie pie.
You loved that.
Oh my God, whoopie pie is like the best food ever. It was so messy. We're going through bibs, napkins, beach towels, it just butter and sauces.
Bucket drinks.
Oh my gosh.
You're not fat, you're well-rounded.
Hold on, for the ones in the back.
You're not fat, you're well-rounded.
You keep hitting me with that, and it hurts. I have a little owie right here in my soul.
Mostly for me.
But the thing is, we don't have to drive. All we got to do is get back on the boat, and the boat will take us back to the hotel,
and then we just
50
have to
feet away.
Walk. It's not like we're driving anywhere.
It's more of a calculated waddle at this point.
Of a stumble.
They've seen it before. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. We go, great time.
It was fantastic.
Lucky Catch Sunset Feast.
Yes.
Had a wonderful time with that. We go back to the room, sleep in.
It was a slumber.
And the next thing we know is that the sun's coming up, as it always does. Like, oh man, what do we do here?
Yeah.
We have not had Dunkin Donuts yet.
No, I was like, let me get out the maps.
Yeah.
Let me get out the Google Maps.
Yeah.
The Google.
You did.
And let me find out where the nearest Dunkies is.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can go to a whole bunch of local sort of breakfast buffets where they have all this stuff. It's like, that's good, but Dunkin' Donuts is local too, so let's hit it.
Yeah.
So we did.
Yeah. We walked behind our hotel up into the business area of Portland, the downtown business district, and went to the first Dunkies that we found.
A wildly impressive selection.
It was fantastic.
And it was good. And it's one of the few times I've actually sat and ate breakfast at a Dunkin' Donuts. Usually get Dunkies and you leave or you drive through. We sat and ate and had a wonderful time.
It was much better than the Dunkies and the experience here in the South, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it feels more authentic.
Yes.
It even, this is weird. It's like, it smells more authentic. It feels more like, oh, this is this is what you do here. It's, you Wahoo in the South, you Dunkies in the North.
Oh my gosh.
That's just what you do. You Tim Hortons in Canada.
There you go.
That's just what you do.
There you go. And if you're on the West Coast, In and Out. Okay, fine.
Well, whatever. I'll give it to him.
Fine, you can have that. It's a burger. What? I want donuts. I can live on donuts. Can't live on burgers. Can live on donuts. So we do this, and it's like, okay, everything is good. We're going to take it slow today. Walk through downtown. Lots of cool little shops. Lots of things to see. Downtown Portland is epic.
Yeah.
It truly is a very cool place. And I don't say that about a whole lot of places we've been.
Yeah.
Where I would like to go back just to visit it.
Yeah.
The exact same stuff.
Yeah.
And I would.
Yeah.
Because downtown Portland, Maine is wonderful.
And in between downtown and our hotel and the waterfront is this there's a few little not alleys but little back roads in between.
Sure.
And they're full of little restaurants that are apparently really up and coming and chefs that are really into the food scene there. So check that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to go again just so we can keep eating in Portland.
Pretty much.
Because they do an amazing job with everything.
Yeah.
We didn't have any bad food there at all.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So the next thing you know is that, remember the Lucky Catch guys? Well, hey, you know what? They also have a lobster thing. We go out and catch lobster. Lobstah. Hey, you know what? Let's go do that the next day. So we just did the Sunset Feast. Now we're going to learn how to catch these little guys. So we go on the Lucky Catch Red. That's the name, the color of the boat. It's red.
Yeah.
We do this to catch lobster. And there's about 16 of us on board.
Yeah.
Turns out there's a lot of rules, and I was ignorant as to how many rules there are for regulating the lobster industry to keep it thriving, enough lobsters and all this. The number of traps they have is limited. The size of the lobster you can get is limited. Everything is really pretty strict. Like you can get so many hens is what they call the female lobsters or the male lobsters, what kind you can get, all that. It's really fascinating stuff. Strongly encourage everyone, again, if you have the opportunity to get on one of these lobster boats, and they put us in like the little lobstering, not wetsuits, but they're like the big apron things with bibs and all that. They put us in that and they said, okay, now you're going to help. That's why we're here.
We signed up to work, sir.
We signed up to work. You kidding me? There's no free lobster.
No, it's really cool because I didn't know anything about this industry.
Nope.
And it was interesting because like you were saying, like with the females, they have to mark them or clip them or whatever because it has to be sustainable.
Yes.
When we got back, it was funny because I got on Netflix or one of the streaming, whatever.
Right.
And there was a documentary on there called Lobster Wars.
Yes.
And it was about the rights to,
basically the waters of where they can the lobstering dens.
Machias, is that how you say it? Seal Island, whatever it is, up there in like the northern up near the border
Canada.
of Canada and New Brunswick and whatever.
Yeah.
And anyway, the whole documentary is about who can lobster in certain parts of the sea.
Yes.
And how the quantity is depleting and coming down because, well, it's like the U.S. Canada says we're lobstering too much. We say they're lobstering too much. Who owns where you're lobstering?
Yeah.
And then if it's depleting, like how are we taking care of, how is it sustainable?
Yeah.
It was an awesome documentary.
Yeah, it really is because I remember that because the U.S. Coast Guard's going up saying, well, we can regulate these guys, but not the Canadian boats. The Canadian boats like, well, we can't regulate the U.S. boats. And where exactly is the line? And, there's a lobster trap. And if it drifts or moves or something like that, it's an amazing watch.
And there's actual like government like rules and regulations and stuff and treaties.
Yes.
And there's been like a lot of fighting about this.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah. You're talking about multi-million dollar industry.
Yes. I mean, millions of dollars.
Yeah. And these guys, if you mean, they're the neatest guys because they're sitting here going, hey, we got to do this legal, all that. But they're just pulling in lobster. That's what they do every single day. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
So if you just want to get a little flavor of it, get out there on the boat.
Yes, they'll explain everything. It's really great. Lucky Catch was great.
Yeah, and I got to pull in lobster traps. I did not know this, but crabs grab onto the lobster, the lobster pots, the lobster traps or whatever. They grab that. I pulled them in. So yes, I can say I caught crabs in New England.
Yes,
I have. I just like, oh yeah, there. And I didn't know. And there's the weirdest thing: if you pull a crab off and they're mean and they keep trying to grab you and they with their claws and pinchers, I'm like, no. And they give you gloves.
Yeah.
At this on the boat. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to pull these things off. I did not realize this. There's birds that are circling around your boat. They're like tracking you.
Yes.
Because birds be knowing they're smart. If you pull a crab off and it's like, and they're too small for us, I mean, you can't do anything. So you sling it back in the water. A bird will swoop down, grab it while it's still like near the top of the water. And that's how they get their crabs.
That's crazy.
The birds will be like, okay.
We literally saw this happen.
Yeah. A bird will swoop down, grab the crab. It's like, whoa, what's happening?
And then they take it over and they beat it on a rock.
They beat it on a rock, open up. Now, if you're a crab.
You're like, what?
You're a crab. No, hang on. The day of a crab. Hey, look at this. It's a lobster trap. I grabbed lobster. Oh, no, I'm going up. And it's like, oh. Yeah. And then you have like a big human type person. I pull you off and I was like, I want to hold it. Okay. And they throw you in the water. It's like, oh, I'm safe. And then a bird comes and gets you.
And then bangs you on a rock.
Oh, my gosh.
So bad.
This is a nightmare day for any crab.
Oh no. That's true.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking of the crab going, now what?
Seriously? When crabs cry.
This is what it sounds like when crabs cry. That was the working title, actually. I read the documentary. I watched that. So the thing is about this, to wrap this up, you get to do the lobster thing and they'll say, hey, by the way, who wants to take a lobster home with them for dinner?
Yeah.
You can buy your lobster right there on the boat. You pay them cash. You get the lobsters. They bag them up for you. You go back, once the trip is done, you go back to the Portland Lobster Company, which is right there on the dock. And they'll say, take it into them, put the bag on the counter and say, we have caught these lobsters.
Yeah.
And what they will do, and we did this. We took our lobsters, Portland Lobster Company, you take the bag and say, we just caught these. And they say, okay. And they'll ring it up. They'll say, so they're not charging you for the lobster, but it's for cooking and like.
And your accoutrement.
And the corn on the cob and the stuff that goes with it.
Or slaw or whatever.
Yeah. And so what will happen is that you will sit there and you'll eat a fresh lobster that basically just came off the boat with you. If you've had a fresher lobster in your life, I don't know how you did it. Because we literally, it's like, okay. And then, it's like, do we name them? No, you're about to eat this. This is lunch.
From farm to table.
Oh my gosh. It was so good.
It was so good.
So a couple of notes of things that are happening in Portland, because then we have to get our souvenirs for people.
We do.
And we think, there's all these things of puffins. It's like a penguin, but kind of cuter.
Yeah.
But there's all these puffin magnets. There's no puffins there.
No, it's way more north.
Yeah.
It's way more up toward the northern tip in those islands. New Brunswick and all that.
So if we didn't see puffins, that's
towards
one thing.
Canada.
Yeah, that's right. We did not do that. Also, we never got oysters.
That's true. I wanted to get oysters.
Right.
There was a really great oyster place. Did we write the name of it down?
No, but it's by Gilbert's Chowdah House. There's an oyster place. We couldn't get there, because we're just shoveling. I'm shoveling in so much lobster to begin with.
Well, we're going on these lobster excursions.
I know.
It takes some time.
Yeah. After a while, it's like you've eaten so many lobster, you got to hunt your own now. Okay, I'm totally up for this. So we did. The other thing is that we never got on water taxis to go to the other islands or just go ripping around Casco Bay.
Right.
Because, again, it's all lovely. It's all very nice and sustainable. And all these water taxis, they all have their own cool individual look. We didn't do it because, hey, we went out and got lobsters.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like, okay, so we did not do that. We sleep our final night there.
We sleep the sleep of 1,000 sleeps.
We call an Uber guy. Here's the last funny, odd thing that happened to us was now we got to get a ride with the guy. And the flight's at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
It's really early.
It's time to leave the Kapak and the Lobster.
Time to finally go back home to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we get there. And as it turns out, because we don't have a car, so some guy comes and drives us in. The Uber driver, out of nowhere strikes up a conversation. He's like 65 years old, and he's an old hand. And apparently they are pretty, not abrupt, not rude, but they're pretty like matter of fact there.
That's a good way to put it.
As their drivers.
Oh man,
he starts basically going through the changes of a woman's body,
and I'm like sitting there like, okay, wait,
yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
listen, what are we talking about? It's 4:00 in the morning, and dude, I don't know you.
I know. And I'm like, is this about to turn away?
Yeah.
That I'm not going to like.
Yeah. And then he starts talking about this, there's this play of all women, and it's talking about this change of a woman that happens when they hit their 40s, basically.
Oh, the old menopause.
That's the one. And then he goes, I saw this, but you know what would make that play a lot funnier? Men.
Oh my God.
4:00 in the morning. I'm not mentally equipped to deal with this. I'm like, wait, what?
I should be highly offended. And I just start laughing because I realize he did all of that.
Yes.
Just to build up to tell a bad joke.
Yeah.
And then I kind of liked him. I was like, you're all right.
And I'm like, are you serious? This is not
she's sitting right here.
Oh, I was dying. I was 4:00. I'm not mentally equipped. I'm stuffed with lobster. I put on 9 pounds in the past 3 days. And now I've got to crack wise with this guy.
Yeah, and now
seriously.
And after that, it was good. It was just early, and I think he was breaking the ice
in
a super awkward way.
Very
much
so.
In a way that it's like when you're at a funeral and you don't want to laugh.
Yeah.
And then you do. Like,
you think something really funny?
Like,
looking over the casket.
Happening?
Oh
my God.
It was a great trip. It was a lot of fun. And after a great trip like that, you'd think, you know what? You'll never fight again. You will never have a disagreement, a discouraging word ever. You would think that, you would be so wrong. We're going to hash this out right now with a segment that we call Monica versus Joey.
It's game on. It's time for Monica versus Joey.
You can't wait, can you?
I can't wait.
It turns out there are more than one ways to eat a lobster. The lobster basically, you eat the tail and the claws, and then there's a lot of weird stuff in the middle that some aficionados love, but I just think it's kind of gross. It turns out as you eat this,
That's true, actually.
for this discussion, we agree on that part. For this discussion, Monica versus Joey, we take this from the name of Friends, the wonderful series where people just think differently about the same subject.
Sure.
For me, lobster, I'll be Joey. I like with butter. Just drown it in butter and butter. It's so good. I love it.
That's the typical thing to do. Get your lobster and get your butter.
Apparently, there are some people who would beg to differ, and there are other options.
We would call them Monicas.
Okay.
I will take the Monica stance.
Because you would actually do some of this.
I would, because I'm a bit of a foodie.
Yeah.
And so I like to try all the things.
Okay, so
There's so many more ways to have lobster.
lobster, but without butter, with other toppings on them,
Yes.
such as what?
You can have it with thermidor sauce, which is like kind of shalloty, winey mustard, kind of like a nice little
Okay.
a nice little sauce.
Okay, it's a
nice
sauce.
little sauce.
A sauce for the lobster.
You can do it with cheese fondue.
Not cheese fondant,
But
for
cheese
people who don't
fondue.
like fondant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hollandaise.
I love a hollandaise.
Kewpie mayonnaise, which is kind of like a yolky, rich, like
a special flavored mayonnaise.
Yeah.
It's not like the mayo out of the jar. It's advanced mayonnaise.
it's advanced mayonnaise.
Got it.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say nok chom.
Okay. Not
It's
chom
more
sauce.
like it's Asian, so fish sauce and Asian spices.
Interesting.
You can do your cocktail sauce. You can do your aiolis. You can do your guacamoles. You can do your marinaras, your remoulades, your green goddesses, and your spring pea pestos. I don't know what that was, but that's what I just did. Basically, it's like you can eat lobster
Yeah.
and put on it where you live, like
Yes.
what you would be doing. So
Yeah.
like a remoulade would be more like Southern influence with like cayenne and paprika and more Cajun Creole food.
I'm trying to get past the guacamole and lobster.
The guacamole.
Yeah, I get the feeling people in Maine, it's like, well, it's month number 6 of frozen winter, and we still have lobster. What else can we put on this damn thing? Not a Pop-Tart. Let's go with guacamole. Now you're just making stuff up because you ran out of Smucker's jelly.
No, really. I think if you wanted to go like sort of like South American
Sure.
or even like what am I trying to say? Spanish, like Spain, Portugal.
Yeah.
You would have something like guacamole. It just really depends on like where you are. And I would do a lot of these things just to bust up the typical, which is just your butter.
And I would watch you do that as I drowned my lobster in butter. After he's been in jacuzzi long enough, he's like, dude, just throw butter on me. We're good. Okay. Another lobster after this. I promise no more lobster talk after this, but it's Maine. You got to talk about it. It's the thing up there. I get that. If it's a regional food, there are some things that you have to know, and we call this the travel nugget.
Ooh, I like a good travel nugget.
Thing about travel nugget is this.
Yeah.
It is lobster related. If it's a regional food like lobster, know when it's fresh. Apparently,
that's true.
lobster is a year-round thing. You can get lobsters anytime. It's sort of like if you get oysters, there are certain months you want it, certain months you don't.
Yeah.
But for something like lobster, they're saying you can get it any time of the year and it'd be okay. June through December is the best season.
Yeah.
You get them year-round, June through December. Can I just call a timeout real quick and look at the calendar for obvious reasons? June through December is the season? Okay, well, if you don't get it in Father's Day,
left?
get it by New Year's Eve. What? That's most of the year, Slick. Can you not? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Their lobster festival is in August, traditionally. So if
Yeah.
that gives you an indication as to when is the best time to get lobster, go in August. That's when the festival is. That's when the big parades are. And that's when you eat the thing. We had it in June. We were fine.
And we stayed when it's the Rockland Lobster Festival.
Yeah.
Where did we stay? What did we do? What's going on?
Thomaston near Rockland.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where the festival is. Did we say that already?
Yeah, that we're in Thomaston?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
but the festival was near there.
we didn't say the festival was there.
Okay, good. I'm glad I remembered it now.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. But it is in August.
Okay, yeah.
So location-wise, Thomaston, Rockland area, but in August.
Yeah.
And apparently if you go up there, that's where the lobster pounds are. So sorry I missed out on this opportunity.
I want to pay more for my lobster.
I just thought by that, oh, forget it. I can't justify this anymore. I'm actually hurting my brain.
Moving on.
But it's absolutely true. Lobsters are wonderful. They are great. Drench them with butter, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And try to get them in one of these 7, 8, 9 months of the year when they're freshest. You could have one in March and still be absolutely fine, probably. But that means...
That angers you.
Hey, you know what angers me is that we just talked about putting guacamole on a lobster.
Yeah.
I just realized this.
Well,
we also have a segment. We always end the show with
that's
this.
true.
Where it's called guacamoles. It's a little bit of an odd thing that we have, and let's get to that right now.
What the holy guacamole are you talking about?
I really did not know guacamole be appropriated for another reason besides our bumper. Okay, this is the part of the program that we wrap up with. We always talk about this little odd bit of travel information that has come up that has nothing to do with the state of Maine or wherever we've been that the show is on.
Yeah.
This is about the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
We love the Caribbean.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. There are 5 countries down there.
Give me a beach and an umbrella drink.
Umbrella.
I said it too fast. Give me a beach and an umbrella drink.
Well, but see, I think you're still trying to do it like a northern Yankee
it's hard
person.
To get,
give me a beach and umbrella drink. Pass it.
It's hard to get out of this when you've been talking like this for so long.
Lobstah, Chowdah, Haba. Turns out there are 5 countries, and it sounds like more than 5, but these are joined like St. Kitts and Nevis. That's one.
Yeah.
Dominica, St. Lucia, Grenada, and Antigua and Barbuda.
Barbuda.
What has happened is they have down there golden passport programs.
Okay, what is this golden passport? I want a golden passport.
So don't you want to be on the Wonka show right now? The golden passport does the following. It's also called citizenship by investment, or CBI.
Oh.
What happens is you donate a set amount to one of these 5 countries, and they give you citizenship by investment, aka a golden passport. So suddenly you're a citizen of there as well. So you can be we're U.S. citizens. We can go down there. We can give $100,000 to Antigua and become Antiguans.
Why would anyone do that? Like, what's the benefit of citizenship?
Some people do it for tax reasons. You know, if you're in a place that is not as tax friendly,
it's like hiding your money in the Caymans.
The thing is, now it costs some money to do this. Anywhere from $100,000 in some, like St. Lucia's $100,000, up to $250,000 for some. I think Grenada is that. Okay. No, Grenada's $150,000. Anyway, they're all between $100,000 and $250,000.
Yeah.
But once you do that, you're in.
Oh, wow.
And
well, see, I would like to just be in.
Yeah.
So I could just always vacation there.
Yes, right?
And I don't want to stand in the customs line.
No. I'm a local.
What an exorbitant price to pay to just not stand in the customs line.
But here's the problem. Some people are using this for nefarious purposes.
Yeah.
And they're coming in from like Russia or whatever countries. And they're saying, yes, now I'm from St. Lucia. Yes, here's money. And now you give me citizenship.
Yeah.
Everything's cool with it. And by the way, we're talking about an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
Half of the money that St. Kitts lives on, their annual revenue last year, $192 million of St. Kitts. That's half the money they make as an island every year.
God.
Half their money comes from this golden passport program.
That's crazy.
It is an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
The reason why we're talking about this right now, the European Union is saying, hey, golden passport's not a cool idea because there could be like either drug money coming in or people with criminal records, something like that. So we're not going to recognize your golden passport program anymore. That's the European Union being not cool.
You don't have a golden ticket.
And now Grenada's like, dude, what are we doing here? What's going on? So the European Union, this is not like a fun little lighthearted guacamole as they usually are.
Yeah.
This is one of those things you just want to watch out for so that in the future, if you're thinking about becoming a resident of, say, Grenada, and they don't have the golden passport, there's a reason why. Someone else has basically made it look bad for the rest of us who just want to go to St. Lucia, be residents, and skip that long line at the airport.
I think I said exorbitant.
Yeah.
Exorbitant.
A lot.
I don't even know.
The word you're looking for is a lot.
There's not a whole lot I wouldn't do to not stand in a customs line, though. I'm just saying. So,
it's like, wait,
thanks for ruining it for the rest of us.
Yeah, thanks, European Union. Bunch of buzzkill killjoys, no fun guys. drive me crazy. Anyway, so that's what we've got. You know,
Yeah.
it's always fun to vacation at places like Maine. And as we're doing that, we just want to give you the information of what happened with us. And that's why we called it the Maine problem.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for checking out Voca Vacay. Remember, keep up with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagrams, and as always, vacation like it's your job.
And live vicariously through yourself.
Darn right, we're back and we're good to have more episodes in the future. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Love ya, miss ya, mean it. Bye.
Don't forget to click subscribe. As always, hashtag Voca Vacay at Voca Vacay and visit VocaVacay.com.